Hello and welcome to the Fireside Chat on the New World of Tourism as part of the Explore Do Business Jamaica Investment Conference. I'm Jeff Higley, president of the BHN Group since May 2019. I oversee global hotel investment conferences such as CRIS, OLA, ALICE, HICAP, and AOCAP, among others. Joining me on this discussion as we explore the new world of tourism is Bojan Kumer. Bojan is Vice President of Lodging Development for Marriott International and the Ritz-Carlton Hotel Company for the Caribbean and Latin America region. Bojan is responsible for hotel development of all Marriott brands in the Caribbean region. He brings over 15 years of experience within Marriott's hotel operations, corporate finance, and development organizations. We are pleased to have such an expert as Bojan to engage with us today. The devastating impact of COVID-19 on tourism is undeniable, but we are seeing major signs of recovery as air travel opens and cruise ships are once again leaving docks. There is a new world of tourism with more discerning travelers desirous of local and immersive experiences. We explore what that new world of tourism in Jamaica will look like and key areas for investment and business opportunities. So let's please welcome Bojan. Bojan, hello. How are you and how are things going? There's a lot of momentum and optimism in the air.
Doing very well. Hello, and thank you for having me. I'm actually pleased to participate in this conference. And you said it right, Jeff. We definitely see a lot of optimism lately. I would say since the beginning of this year, we have seen a strong recovery in the leisure market, especially in that luxury market, which surprisingly, beating all of the odds, was not impacted at all. We have seen these travelers, traveling. They found a way how to get to the destinations. They left those big cities, Northeast, that they were looking for unique experiences, but also they were looking for those second and third homes. We have seen actually a lot of demand from our brands in that luxury segment with the branded residential. As a matter of fact, 2020 and 2021, we had the record years from our mixed use group. They had great year, and luxury market with the branded residential was a big hit.
Well, certainly bodes well for the future. Let's turn our attention to the topic at hand, particularly how Jamaica is faring and what the expectations are. So what factors and features of Jamaica that led to Marriott choosing Jamaica as a destination for its properties and expansion plans?
Yeah, Jamaica is one of the top tourist destinations in the Caribbean. And we have been operating in Jamaica for quite some time. We're glad that we cover all of the major business and leisure destinations on the island, and definitely looking forward to expand our footprints in the resort markets even further. We're building a strong pipeline, and in Jamaica, and definitely we're here to stay.
What has been Marriott's experience in Jamaica? Let's take it from leading up to the pandemic, through the pandemic, and now coming out of the pandemic and looking ahead, as you said, with your pipeline.
Sure. As I mentioned, we love Jamaica because it is a popular tourist destination. And Jamaica is one of very few countries that has such a strong brand reputation, which attracts millions of visitors every year. We have a very good experience operating and franchising our brands in the country. Currently, we have 7 hotels in Jamaica. 2 are business hotels in Kingston, AC by Marriott and Courtyard by Marriott. And we have recently added 5 resorts into our Autograph Collection portfolio. And these hotels are located in Montego Bay and Negril. All these resorts are actually with our existing partners from Blue Diamond. And all of them are offering unique lifestyle experiences. And they are all carrying a Royalton name. Prior to the pandemic, we had 2 business hotels and they were operating very, very well. We had actually one of the highest ADRs for both brands in the Caribbean region in Jamaica. The Courtyard is operated by us, by Marriott, and AC by Marriott is a franchise property. But both we're operating very well. we have seen the impact during the pandemics, and both ADR and occupancy plummeted. But in a recent months, I would say in the last 6 to 7 months, the market started recovering because also the business travelers again started to travel. They're not again at the level of the pre-pandemic, but we see that especially in the US market where it's kind of reaching that level, we see that that's going to also happen in the Caribbean region and specifically in Jamaica. And then the resorts, as I mentioned, the resorts are doing very well. During the pandemic, we've signed the agreement with the Blue Diamond and added 5 resorts into our portfolio in Jamaica, and really looking forward to expanding that portfolio and obviously in the Jamaican market.
That's an interesting thing to have happen during a pandemic. Growing your portfolio in Jamaica. How would you characterize that experience in Jamaica, expanding the portfolio, and as you mentioned in your opening, the pipeline? How does that all come together as we move forward into post-pandemic stage?
Yeah, the resort market are actually quite important for us, Jamaica and other Caribbean islands, because as you think, we have traditionally have hotels in urban destinations, especially in North America. We have many hotels in the big markets, many hotels that are actually catering business travelers. So they all collect the points. We currently have over 150 million members that travel for business, collect the points. But then, when they look for the vacation, when they're looking for a redemption, the first thing is obviously look in the to the neighbors, and the neighbors are the Caribbean countries. And although we have been doing very well in the resort market in the Caribbean, we have never competed in the all-inclusive. We have launched our all-inclusive in 2019, and we have had significant growth since then. We have added hotels all over the Caribbean islands, which definitely helps our Bonvoy members to redeem their points. Now, finally, they have all-inclusive destinations. They have traditional EP destinations across the Caribbean to look for the redemption.
How does the all-inclusive footprint look like? What does it look like in Jamaica? And do you expect that to expand moving forward?
Yes, currently we have 5 hotels, and all of them are branded Royalton. And as I mentioned, they are in Montego Bay and Negril Market, and definitely looking to expand further in Jamaica with our traditional brands, because we also have brands such as Marriott, such as Westin, such as luxury brands, Ritz-Carlton and W, and definitely we see potential in that upper upscale and luxury segment in Jamaica in the all-inclusive.
And do you expect that to be more of a franchise play or institutional investment? How do you look at that as far as expanding Jamaica's development footprint?
It depends on the partners, right? If we're looking at institutional partners, they are looking for us to manage. So we would manage these hotels. However, they are an existing partners and operators. They are actually approved by our company to operate all-inclusive hotels. And we are actually willing to consider a franchise as well. For example, the Royaltons, they're all franchise. So we have those 5 franchise hotels in Jamaica.
Let's drill down a little bit more on the pandemic and the impact that it has had on the specific products and locations and their performances. What about the client profile that you mentioned Bonvoy and the importance of that? How did the pandemic affect that for Marriott, and how do you think it's going to look over the next, let's say, 12 to 18 months?
Yeah, sure. So the pandemic severely impacted not only hotel companies, but the travel industry in general. And we have experienced hotel closures all over the region. But since, I would say, second part of the last year, we have slowly been rebuilding the RevPAR, and we're going through a recovery process still, especially in the resort markets, which, as I mentioned earlier, are doing very well. There is still a lag on the conventions, and we see that that's gonna still be behind. I would say we don't expect that to recover for another couple of years to fully recover, right? But again, the business travelers are there. They're traveling again. There are restrictions, but again, whoever wants to travel, they'll find a way. They are going to start preparing in advance, and we haven't seen any issues related to that. And as I mentioned, we definitely see more leisure travelers and people that are looking for unique vacation experiences. And our hotels in the resort destinations in the US and across the Caribbean are doing very well. We also see an increase in the, as I mentioned, in the business travelers, but due to some of the restrictions, we're still not in the level of 2019.
What about the impact of the measures implemented by the government of Jamaica in response to the pandemic? How did that impact Marriott, and how does that look going forward as well?
We have seen similar measures around the Caribbean and Latin America, so this is no news to any of us. However, the travelers who are planning to visit Jamaica or any other country will have to research the requirements related to COVID and prepare well in advance for their trips. This is, again, not just specific to Jamaica. We have seen it across the region. I have been traveling for, I would say, 6 months now, and yes, I have to dedicate a bit more time to research, to go to the government's website and see what is required for me to enter the country. Test, for example, COVID test, I would have to make an appointment here in Miami, do the test, and then obviously plan accordingly. So again, it does impact, but for the people that are willing to travel, they want to travel either for leisure or business, there is a way to do it. They just have to dedicate a bit more time.
It's a brave new world out there going forward, right? With all of the things that we have to do to travel anywhere. So when we're looking at that, how would you describe, or what do you believe Jamaica should be doing to help improve the country's profile as a tourist destination and to attract more tourist investment and therefore hotel investment?
Jamaica should continue to invest in promotion and especially emphasize the safety of the destination. Also, I see the potential in the luxury segment because that segment was impacted the least during the pandemic. Investing obviously in the infrastructure and providing sufficient and significant government incentives would definitely help the investors. And we can only see that, that if government can implement those, that will strengthen Jamaica's position as a safe and favored investment destination. Because Jamaica does compete with other destinations within the Caribbean, and always need to think about what the others are doing and what can we do differently to position ourselves, actually Jamaica, to position itself above the other destinations.
Bojan, when we were strictly talking about the new world of tourism as it relates to Jamaica, is there anything that we didn't discuss that you would like to add?
As I mentioned at the beginning, I think I definitely see a potential in the luxury segment. As of right now, Jamaica does not have a true luxury product in the luxury, I would say, the Ritz-Carlton, St. Regis type of properties. We have been looking for the properties. We have identified some of the properties. We're negotiating the agreements. However, we hope that this actually could attract more investment because, again, these type of brands also are very lucrative for the developers because they could actually add the branded residential, which we have seen in the past 2 years have been doing very well. So I would actually encourage developers to consider these investments because we know that certain destinations within Jamaica can yield high ADR and can justify this amount of investment.
Very good. We look forward to seeing that develop over the next few years, as well as your pipeline that's already in place. So Bojan Kumer, VP of International Development for Marriott, thanks for joining us today. It's been a pleasure catching up.
Thank you very much.